Welcome to The Truth, and today our topic is what happened to Islam and the Muslims. Now, and please take note. In order for the new world order to be established, mankind has to be in a frame of mind, like the animals, and mechanical to serve and build the system, and be discarded or sacrificed when ready. The ultimate threat to this agenda is a free-thinking human being, conscious of his reality and existence. It becomes dangerous to this system of lies, illusion, propaganda, and deceit, and ritual sacrifices. To the jinns, Iblis, Lucifer, for those new to his name, it becomes dangerous when man and the masses know whom it truly is that is supreme, and all their eyes and thoughts are away from paganism. The system is like a plant without sustenance, and water will wilt and die, and those who depend on it to bring about their evil uncommon plots will have nothing and nowhere to hide, and will be discarded by the masses for the evil that they had them accepting as good. And the fact that the life lived was all a facade and could have been far better for everyone than it was and is, because of this state, righteousness cannot survive, because almost all mankind is blind and unaware of what true reality and freedom is. Being free, but accepting the will and laws and guidance of who created you, that is true freedom. Being truly awake and being able to critically think and spot the wrong plainly as the wrong and shun it. But this life is on the reverse, forward to hellfire. Judgment, then hellfire for most. There's a reason why the Illuminati bankers and businessmen infiltrated Islam. They did it with Judaism and Christianity before and turned them paganic. Every other religion is paganic. Islam isn't a religion, but the masses don't know this because the TV tells them it's a religion, and that's far from the truth and very much wrong. There's not even a symbol for Islam. Pagans did this and Muslims accepted it unknowingly. Islam is a way of life prescribed for our forefather Adam and all those who were before us, and the Quran a reminder of how we should function and live here to perfect our state, which we lost till it's time for our bodies to expire and we move on to the next level and final stage. Islam is based on righteousness, but because it was infiltrated by the Illuminati under peaceful disguises, befriending and acting until they became invisible thorns, pitting the Muslims against each other and attacking them sophisticatedly while whispering to different people and creating different opinions amongst the believers when they were all one strong body, breaking them off into sects, deviating in things that no permission was given for, straying from the Sunnah, are the way of the prophets who were perfect examples of how human beings should function and live till their passing taught them. With these sects, the Illuminati, Zionist bankers and businessmen used each group to war against each other while slowly taking over the Muslim land and their resources under disguises with fraudulent paid leaders whom they tricked and killed after to take all that they had under their hands. While the Muslims and Islam became fragments and disrupted and kept the Muslims at bay while dumbing them down as to what is going on around them and how they should be doing certain things. All the wars and killings before and after World War I up to Syria and the bombings, 9/11, Sri Lanka, all of these wars were staged by pagans whom people pay no attention to, and they are sacrifices. And they fail to understand their way of doing things. Everyone hates Muslims. Why? Because the Illuminati sacrifices the foolish citizens in rituals and mega rituals to bring about their agenda and deaths and for blood sacrifices, all the while pretending to be peaceful and looking out for mankind. Well, they're not looking out for mankind. Your calendar, the Gregorian calendar, is one of evil. The days, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, all of these are named after pagan gods. Even the months are named after pagan gods. And the Muslims need to wake up. This calendar appears innocent, but it is the ritual schedule for mankind year after year, all working up to the release of the Dajjal or Antichrist. Before it was in existence, the Julian calendar was, and then it was upgraded to the Gregorian, which is more accurate for the Illuminati, which is what we see and use today. Behind it is the Wiccan calendar. These are solar calendars which deals with the worship of the sun or the sun god through astrology. The Wiccan calendar splits the Gregorian calendar into 4 segments: spring, autumn, summer, which is 13 weeks each. Remember, 13 is the occult. 6 signifies man. 7 signifies perfection. 6 plus 7 equals 13. So the Illuminati considers themselves to be perfected. So everything is mathematically based under evil. Each segment consists of 3 months, which makes up the 12 months of the year on the Gregorian calendar. And remember, jinns or the devils don't give you things so you can be better. They give you things to slowly but surely destroy you. Now with the Wiccan calendar, you have 8 periods of time which have specific names and attributed to specific types of events, which uses the masses as energy sources and willing sacrifices through their willful and stupid acceptance of paganism in their lives as religion. These 8 periods are known to the pagans, who are the Illuminati, the masters behind the society, but the masses are unaware and assist stupidly and unknowingly. Even Muslims are celebrating these holidays. These 8 periods are known as Yule, Imbolc, Ostara, or Easter, or Ishtar, from the pagan goddess Ishtar. Then we have Beltane, Litha, Lugnasda, or Lammas, Mabon, and Samhain. These are all correspondence with the Gregorian calendar and the dates of the celebrations globally. And these calendars are used globally in every race because evil knows no barriers and language. Language is no barrier for them. We begin with the winter solstice, and remember this period is 13 weeks. It's 13 weeks and begins on the 21st of December, which is known as Yule, and ends in March in the period of Imbolc. Human sacrifices are required. Then we have the spring equinox, also 13 weeks, which begins March 21st and ends in June and requires human sacrifice. Then we have the summer solstice beginning from June 21st and ends in September. It requires human sacrifice. And it's multiple times within these periods. Then we have the autumnal equinox, which begins from September 21st and ends in December. Sacrifice is done on the 21st of December and right throughout this period on specific dates. And the 31st of October, the last and highest day of the eve on the solar calendar, Halloween or Samhain, which we were in. So in every 3 months, there are sacrifices taking place. But do you see the open ones? Or are you not able to tell? People don't try to know anything. This is why Islam and the Muslims keep getting attacked. Because the Illuminati sacrifices the foolish citizens and places the blame on the set who has truth, the Muslims, to make them hated and distort reality so that they can continue leading the masses to their new world order, which requires many dead and the remainder to be slaves, to be toyed with under the short rule of the Antichrist. This is what we need to do. Check the dates and map it back to these calendars, and you find that all major wars and massacres of history was all done on these dates for sacrifices. All the dates the Illuminati loves, which produces negative energy on earth, and human beings are nothing to the Illuminati, but you help them celebrate. You don't care, but you want to blame the Muslims for your own atrocities done by your leaders of the Illuminati bankers, politicians, businessmen, celebrities, religious fanatics, and leaders, all staged events. You accept everything. This is why the mass of humanity has their path set on hellfire without any thought that they were on their way there. Some say it doesn't exist, just like God. It's true, God doesn't exist, but Allah does exist. And because of deviation from that fact, you can only blame yourself. We'll be explaining this calendar and these dates in details in another post.